Introduction. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Crazy Auto Premiere. Today, we've got something absolutely electrifying to share with you. We're talking about the brand new 2026 Porsche Cayenne Electric. And let me tell you, this isn't just another electric SUV. This is Porsche's bold statement that luxury, performance, and sustainability can coexist in perfect harmony. Now, before we dive deep into every detail of this magnificent machine, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the price. This beauty starts at £83,200, which converts to approximately $105,000 US. Yes, you heard that right. We're firmly in the luxury territory here, competing with the likes of the Tesla Model X Plaid, the BMW iX60, the Mercedes EQS SUV, the Audi e-tron GT, and even the Rivian R1S in its top specifications. But here's the thing about Porsche. When you're paying for that iconic crest on the hood, you're not just buying a car, you're buying decades of engineering excellence, motorsport heritage, and that unmistakable Porsche driving experience that has been refined since 1948. This is a vehicle that promises to deliver 408 PS in standard mode, but can unleash a staggering 442 PS with launch control. We're talking about a 0 to 62 miles per hour sprint in just 4.8 seconds. That's supercar territory in an SUV. What makes this vehicle even more intriguing is that it's Porsche's first fully electric Cayenne, marking a significant milestone in the company's electrification journey. They've taken everything they learned from the Taycan, their groundbreaking electric sports car, and packaged it into a practical 5-seater SUV that doesn't compromise on the Porsche DNA. Over the next 30 minutes, we're going to leave absolutely no stone unturned. We'll explore every curve, every stitch of leather, every technological innovation, and every performance metric. We'll compare it to its competitors, discuss whether it's worth the premium price tag, and ultimately help you decide if this is the electric SUV that deserves a spot in your garage. So buckle up, hit that subscribe button, and let's get started. Exterior features and design. Let's start where every automotive experience begins, with the exterior. The moment you lay eyes on the 2026 Cayenne Electric, you know you're looking at a Porsche. This isn't some generic electric crossover trying to look futuristic with weird angles and bizarre proportions. No, this is unmistakably a Cayenne, and that's exactly what Porsche intended. The vehicle measures 4,985 millimeters in length. That's roughly 16 feet and 4 inches for those keeping track. The width comes in at 1,980 millimeters, or about 6 feet and 6 inches. And when you include those beautifully sculpted side mirrors, you're looking at 2,199 millimeters of total width. That's over 7 feet, so you'll definitely command presence on the road. Our featured configuration comes in white, which is included at no additional cost, but Porsche being Porsche, you can customize this to your heart's content. The exterior package features silver-colored accents that beautifully complement whatever color you choose. The door handles are painted in the exterior color, maintaining that seamless, cohesive look that luxury buyers expect. Now, let's talk about those wheels. This configuration rides on 20-inch Cayenne Aero wheels, which come as standard equipment. These aren't just for show. They're specifically designed aerodynamic wheels painted in black with a highly polished finish. The combination of black wheels against a white body creates a striking contrast that's both sporty and sophisticated. Each wheel features anti-theft wheel bolts and wheel center caps adorned with the monochrome Porsche crest. The wheels are wrapped in 20-inch summer tires as standard, and the vehicle comes equipped with a tire pressure monitoring system, tire sealing compound, and an electric air compressor. The front end showcases matrix LED headlights, which are standard equipment. These aren't your basic headlights. Matrix LED technology allows for adaptive lighting patterns that can selectively dim portions of the high beam to avoid blinding oncoming traffic while maintaining maximum visibility everywhere else. It's technology that feels like science fiction but works flawlessly in the real world. Moving to the rear, you'll find a taillight strip with illuminated Porsche lettering that stretches across the entire width of the vehicle. This has become a signature design element of modern Porsches, and it looks absolutely stunning at night. The roof spoiler comes finished in the exterior color with a spoiler lower shell in high-gloss black, adding to that sporty aesthetic while also contributing to aerodynamic efficiency. The exterior mirrors feature lower trim and base sections painted in high-gloss black, and they can be folded down to a width of 1,999 millimeters when you need to squeeze into tight spaces. Speaking of the roof, this model features an aluminum roof without roof rails as standard, though there's preparation for a tow bar system if you need towing capability. One detail that often gets overlooked is the silver-colored model designation on the rear. It's subtle, it's classy, and it tells the world exactly what you're driving without being ostentatious. The windscreen comes with thermally insulated glass, which might seem like a small detail, but it makes a huge difference in cabin comfort and climate control efficiency. The overall design philosophy here is evolutionary rather than revolutionary. Porsche has maintained the iconic Cayenne silhouette while incorporating necessary elements for electric propulsion and modern aerodynamics. This is intentional. Porsche buyers don't want something that looks like it came from a science fiction movie. They want a Porsche that happens to be electric, and that's exactly what they've delivered. Interior and comfort. Open the door and step inside, and you are immediately transported into what can only be described as Porsche's interpretation of a luxury living room. But this isn't about ostentatious displays of wealth. This is about purposeful luxury, where every element serves both form and function. The interior color scheme for this configuration is black with a partial leather interior. Now, when Porsche says partial leather, they're being precise. The high contact areas, the places where you'll actually touch and interact with the vehicle, feature genuine leather. Other areas use high-quality synthetic materials that are more durable and easier to maintain. This is actually a more practical approach for a vehicle that might see daily use. Let's talk about the seats. The front seats are comfort seats with 8-way electric adjustment. That means you can adjust the seat forward and backward, up and down, the backrest angle, and the seat cushion angle all electrically. The front seats also include heating as standard equipment, which is essential for those cold winter mornings. The rear seats are also electric, configured in a 2+1 arrangement, giving you 3 seats in the back. The outer rear seats feature ISOFIX and I-size mounting points, making this a genuinely family-friendly vehicle for those with young children. The seat belts throughout are black, maintaining that cohesive color scheme, and they feature 3-point automatic operation with reversible seatbelt pretensioners for safety. Side airbags are present in both the front and rear, complementing the standard airbag system throughout the vehicle. The interior trim is finished in laser shade with an accent package in black. The laser shade material has a unique texture that catches light in interesting ways, adding visual interest without being distracting. The storage package comes as standard equipment, providing thoughtfully designed compartments and organizers throughout the cabin to keep your belongings secure and accessible. The steering wheel is a multifunctional unit wrapped in leather with integrated heating and the innovative mode switch. This allows you to quickly toggle between different modes without taking your hands off the wheel. The steering wheel offers manual fore and aft and height adjustment, ensuring every driver can find their perfect position. The pedal pads are finished in stainless steel, adding that premium touch you'd expect at this price point. Door sill guards at the front and rear are crafted from aluminum with the model logo, protecting against scuff marks while reminding you what you're driving every time you enter or exit the vehicle. The fabric roof lining creates a more intimate cabin atmosphere compared to glass roofs, and it's paired with dual sun visors for both driver and passenger, along with extended ambient and communication lighting that transforms the cabin atmosphere, especially at night. Climate control is handled by a 2-zone automatic system with parking pre-climatization capability. This means you can have the cabin at the perfect temperature before you even get in, crucial for an electric vehicle where you want to minimize battery usage for heating and cooling while driving. The system includes a particle and pollen filter with active carbon filtration, ensuring the air you breathe is clean and fresh. Floor mats are provided for front and rear, and there's a non-smoking package as standard. The power tailgate features gesture control, so you can open it with a simple foot motion under the rear bumper when your hands are full of groceries. The soft closed doors add that final touch of luxury, gently pulling the doors shut with a satisfying thunk that speaks to the quality of construction. Storage space is generous with 90 liters in the front trunk, or frunk as it's become known in the electric vehicle world, 781 liters in the main cargo area, and a massive 1,588 liters when the rear seats are folded down. That's enough space for everything from weekly grocery runs to family road trips with all the luggage you could need. The driver memory package ensures that all your personal settings are saved and can be recalled instantly, perfect for households where multiple drivers share the top speed is electronically limited to 143 miles per hour. Now, some might argue that's not that high for a performance vehicle, but let's be realistic. How often are you going to drive at 143 miles per hour? This is a sensible limit that prioritizes efficiency and range while still providing more than enough performance for any legal driving situation. The transmission is a single-speed unit, which is standard for electric vehicles. Unlike traditional transmissions with multiple gears, the electric motors can operate efficiently across their entire rev range, eliminating the need for gear changes. This contributes to that seamless, uninterrupted acceleration that electric vehicles are famous for. The chassis is equally impressive. Power Steering Plus provides the perfect balance of feedback and assistance, letting you feel connected to the road without requiring excessive effort. The adaptive air suspension with leveling system and height adjustment includes Porsche Active Suspension Management, or PASM. This system constantly monitors road conditions and adjusts the damping force at each wheel independently, providing a comfortable ride when you're cruising and firming up when you're attacking a twisty road. The brake system features brake calipers in black, and while the specifications don't detail the exact size of the discs, you can be certain they're more than adequate for a vehicle with this level of performance. The regenerative braking system also means that in normal driving, the traditional friction brakes are used far less frequently, extending their service life considerably. Let's put this in perspective compared to competitors in a similar price range. The Tesla Model X Plaid offers more power with 1,020 horsepower and a 2.5-second 0-to-60 time, but it also costs significantly more, starting around $110,000. The BMW iX M60 produces 519 horsepower with a 3.6-second 0-to-60 time and starts around $108,000. The Mercedes EQS 584 4MATIC with 658 horsepower does 0-to-60 in 3.4 seconds, but costs upwards of $130,000. What this tells us is that the Cayenne Electric is positioned competitively in terms of performance, though it's not trying to win the horsepower wars. Instead, it's offering balanced performance that's accessible and usable in real-world conditions, with that characteristic Porsche handling and driving dynamics that you simply can't quantify with numbers alone. Range, charging, and efficiency. Now let's address what's probably the most important aspect of any electric vehicle: range and charging. Because let's face it, the most impressive performance figures in the world don't matter if you're constantly worried about running out of charge. The Cayenne Electric is equipped with what Porsche calls a performance battery with a gross capacity of 113 kilowatt-hours. That's a genuinely large battery pack, one of the biggest in the luxury electric SUV segment. This substantial battery enables some impressive range figures. Under combined WLTP testing conditions, the Cayenne Electric achieves a range of 398 miles. The model range, depending on wheel and tire choices and other options, varies from 356 to 398 miles. In city driving, where electric vehicles are most efficient due to regenerative braking and lower speeds, the range extends to 499 miles, with a model range of 448 to 499 miles. Let's break down the efficiency figures because they tell an important story. The combined electrical consumption is 3.1 miles per kilowatt-hour, with the model range spanning from 2.8 to 3.1 miles per kilowatt-hour. In city driving, this improves significantly to between 3.6 and 4.0 miles per kilowatt hour. Under different speed conditions, the vehicle demonstrates interesting efficiency characteristics. At low speeds, you get 4.1 miles per kilowatt hour. At medium speeds, it's 3.9 miles per kilowatt hour. At high speeds, which typically means highway cruising, it drops to 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour. And at extra high speeds, which we're talking sustained high-speed driving, it falls to 2.5 miles per kilowatt hour. This is completely normal for electric vehicles, as aerodynamic drag increases exponentially with speed. Of course, as an electric vehicle, the CO2 emissions are 0 grams per kilometer, no tailpipe emissions whatsoever. However, it's worth noting for the complete picture that the environmental impact depends on how the electricity used for charging is generated. Now let's talk about charging, because this is where the Cayenne Electric really impresses. The vehicle features an onboard AC charger capable of up to 11 kilowatts of charging power. It comes with a 6-meter charging cable for use at alternating current chargers with up to 22 kilowatts capability. For AC charging, if you're using a 9.6 kilowatt charger, a full charge from 0 to 100% takes approximately 13 hours. With an 11 kilowatt charger, you're looking at 11 hours for a complete charge. If you have access to a 22 kilowatt charger, you can fully charge the battery in just 5.8 hours. But here's where it really gets exciting: the DC fast charging capability. The Cayenne Electric supports a maximum DC charging power of 390 kilowatts. That's among the highest in the industry. With a 150 kilowatt charger, you can charge from 10 to 80% in 26 minutes. But if you're fortunate enough to find a charger that can deliver the full 390 kilowatts, you can charge from 10 to 80% in just 16 minutes. Let me repeat that. 16 minutes to go from 10 to 80% charge. That's barely enough time to grab a coffee and use the restroom at a highway service station. In just 10 minutes of charging at maximum DC power, you can add 202 miles of WLTP range. That's transformative for long-distance travel. To put this in perspective, let's compare with competitors. The Tesla Model X supports up to 250 kilowatts DC charging and can add 162 miles in 15 minutes. The BMW iX supports up to 195 kilowatts and adds 90 miles in 10 minutes. The Mercedes EQS SUV supports up to 200 kilowatts and adds 112 miles in 15 minutes. The Audi e-tron GT supports up to 270 kilowatts. The Cayenne Electric's 390 kilowatt charging capability puts it at the very top of this competitive set. This addresses one of the biggest concerns potential electric vehicle buyers have: charging time on long journeys. The vehicle also includes preparation for Porsche wireless charging, so if you add the appropriate accessories later, you can simply park over a charging pad in your garage and have the vehicle charge automatically without plugging anything in. One feature worth mentioning is the Acoustic Vehicle Alerting System, or AVAS. Since electric vehicles are nearly silent at low speeds, this system generates an artificial sound to alert pedestrians of the vehicle's presence, improving safety for everyone sharing the road. Technology and infotainment. Welcome to the technological heart of the Cayenne Electric, where German engineering precision meets cutting-edge digital innovation. This is where Porsche demonstrates that they're not just building electric cars, they're building intelligent, connected vehicles for the modern era. Let's start with the infotainment system. The Cayenne Electric features Navigation High as standard equipment. This isn't your basic navigation system. This is a sophisticated, connected navigation that can provide real-time traffic information, route optimization, and even predictive charging stop suggestions based on your battery level and destination. It knows where charging stations are, what their power capabilities are, and can route you through them intelligently on long journeys. The system supports digital radio with DAB+, ensuring crystal clear radio reception without the interference and static that plague traditional FM radio. The Sound Package Plus provides an enhanced audio experience with strategically positioned speakers throughout the cabin, though Porsche also offers their premium Burmeister audio system as an upgrade for true audiophiles. One of the most innovative features is the Porsche Digital Key. This allows you to use your smartphone as your key. Just approach the vehicle with your phone in your pocket, and the doors unlock automatically. Walk away, and they lock. You can also share digital keys with family members or friends, with the ability to set restrictions on when those keys can be used and what features they can access. Forgot to give your friend access to the garage? No problem. You can grant it remotely through your phone. The Porsche entry system is standard, which provides keyless entry and start. You never need to fumble for keys again. Keep the key fob in your pocket or bag, and the vehicle recognizes its presence, allowing you to open doors and start the vehicle with the push of a button. There's preparation for a Porsche dash cam, so if you want to add forward and rear-facing cameras for security and insurance purposes, the infrastructure is already in place. You just need to add the camera hardware.
The Porsche Connect system comes with a 10-year inclusive period. This is huge. Many manufacturers charge annual subscription fees for connected services, but Porsche includes 10 years at no additional cost. This provides remote vehicle monitoring through your smartphone, the ability to check your charging status, pre-climatize the cabin, lock and unlock the doors remotely, find your vehicle in a crowded parking lot, and even share trip data with your calendar or contacts. The driver information display and central touchscreen work in harmony to provide all the information you need without overwhelming you. Porsche's interface philosophy is about providing relevant information when you need it, not bombarding you with data constantly. The display can show everything from navigation maps to energy flow diagrams, from performance metrics to vehicle settings. The vehicle includes a 2-zone automatic climate control system that learns your preferences over time. The parking pre-climatization feature is particularly clever. You can schedule the vehicle to reach your desired temperature at a specific time, like when you leave for work in the morning. If the vehicle is plugged in, it uses power from the grid for this rather than depleting the battery, maximizing your available driving range. The driver memory package saves all your personal settings, from seat position to mirror angles, from climate preferences to audio settings. This is especially useful in households where multiple people drive the vehicle. Each driver can have their own profile that's recalled automatically when their digital key is detected. Now let's talk about the assistance systems, because this is where technology really enhances safety and reduces driver fatigue. The Park Assist system includes 2-dimensional surround view, giving you a bird's-eye view of the vehicle and its surroundings when parking. The automatic parking feature can actually park the vehicle for you, both in parallel and perpendicular spaces. The system identifies suitable parking spots and, with your confirmation, steers the vehicle into the space while you control the acceleration and braking. Traffic sign recognition monitors the road ahead and identifies speed limits, no overtaking zones, and other regulatory signs, displaying them in your instrument cluster. This is incredibly helpful for staying legal, especially when traveling in unfamiliar areas where you might miss a sign. Lane Change Assist monitors your blind spots and alerts you if another vehicle is present when you indicate to change lanes. Lane Keeping Assist, including emergency stop function, actively monitors lane markings and provides gentle steering input to keep you centered in your lane. If the system detects that you're unresponsive, perhaps due to a medical emergency, it can even bring the vehicle to a controlled stop. Active Speed Limit Assist can even adjust your cruise control speed automatically when speed limits change, though you can override this if desired. Compared to competitors, Porsche's technology suite is comprehensive and well integrated. Tesla might have a more futuristic approach with their giant central screen and extensive autonomous capabilities, but Porsche's implementation is arguably more intuitive and driver-focused. BMW's iDrive system is sophisticated but can be overwhelming with its complexity. Mercedes' MBUX is impressive but sometimes feels like it's trying to do too much. Porsche strikes a balance between capability and usability that many drivers will appreciate. Dimensions, capacity, suspension, handling, and safety. Let's dive into the physical dimensions and capabilities of this vehicle, because understanding its size and versatility is crucial when considering if it fits your lifestyle. Starting with the body dimensions, we've already mentioned that the vehicle is 4,985 millimeters long, 1,980 millimeters wide, and 2,199 millimeters wide with mirrors. But let's talk about height, because this is where the adaptive air suspension comes into play. At the standard air suspension level, the vehicle stands at 1,674 millimeters tall, but you can adjust this. The low level drops it to 1,659 millimeters for improved aerodynamics and easier access. The extra low level goes down to 1,644 millimeters for the most aggressive stance and optimal high-speed stability. On the other end of the spectrum, off-road level raises it to 1,694 millimeters, and extra off-road level lifts it to an impressive 1,729 millimeters. This adaptability means you can have a low-slung sports car for highway cruising and a capable off-roader for rough terrain, all in the same vehicle. The wheelbase measures 3,023 millimeters, or just under 10 feet. This long wheelbase contributes to a smooth ride and excellent interior space, particularly rear legroom. The turning circle is 12.7 meters, which is quite good for a vehicle of this size, making it reasonably maneuverable in urban environments. Let's talk about weight and capacity. The unladen weight, according to DIN standards, is 2,525 kilograms, or approximately 5,568 pounds. That's substantial, but remember, a large portion of that is the battery pack mounted low in the chassis, which actually helps lower the center of gravity and improve handling. The maximum payload is 645 kilograms, or 1,422 pounds. That's enough for 5 adults with luggage without any concerns. The maximum towing capacity when braked is 3,000 kilograms, or 6,614 pounds. For an unbraked trailer, you can tow 750 kilograms. The nose weight is rated at 120 kilograms. This means you can tow a substantial caravan, boat, or trailer when needed. The maximum permissible roof load is 100 kilograms when using appropriate roof bars. Now, let's discuss the terrain capabilities, because while this is primarily an on-road vehicle, it's surprisingly capable off the beaten path. At normal ride height, the maximum ground clearance is 190 millimeters. The wading depth at normal ride height is 500 millimeters, so you can drive through reasonably deep water without concern. The approach and departure angles at normal height are 14.9 degrees and 18.7 degrees respectively, with a breakover angle of 14.6 degrees. Raise it to off-road level and the ground clearance increases to 210 millimeters with a wading depth of 520 millimeters and a breakover angle of 16.1 degrees. At the highest setting, extra off-road level, you get 245 millimeters of ground clearance, a wading depth of 555 millimeters, and a breakover angle of 18.8 degrees. The approach and departure angles at this height are 25.0 degrees and 22.7 degrees respectively. What this means in practical terms is that you can confidently tackle unpaved roads, forest trails, and even mild off-road adventures without worrying about damaging the underbody or getting stuck. This is significantly more capable than most electric SUVs in this price range. The suspension system deserves special attention. The adaptive air suspension with PASM is a sophisticated setup that combines the comfort of air springs with the precision of electronically controlled damping. The system uses sensors to monitor body movement, steering angle, brake pressure, and throttle position, adjusting the damping force at each wheel independently up to many times per second. In comfort mode, the suspension allows more movement, absorbing bumps and undulations for a smooth, luxurious ride. Switch to sport mode, and the system firms up, reducing body roll in corners and providing more precise handling. The different height settings optimize the suspension geometry for different conditions. Low settings reduce drag for highway efficiency, while high settings prevent scraping on rough terrain. The result is a vehicle that can be comfortable enough for your daily commute, sporty enough for weekend canyon drives, and capable enough for off-road adventures. Few vehicles in any price range offer this level of adaptability.
Regarding safety features, we've already discussed many of the active systems like lane keeping assist and emergency braking, but let's talk about passive safety. The body structure is designed with crumple zones that absorb impact energy while maintaining a rigid passenger cell. Multiple airbags, including front, side, and curtain airbags, provide protection in various collision scenarios. The vehicle includes a warning triangle as standard equipment, and the alarm system with interior surveillance helps protect against theft. The soft closed doors aren't just a luxury feature, they ensure the doors are properly closed and latched every time, which is important for both security and safety.
One often overlooked safety feature is the pedestrian safety system. The front end is designed to minimize injury to pedestrians in the unfortunate event of a collision, with energy-absorbing structures and careful attention to the shapes and locations of hardpoints. The particle and pollen filter with active carbon filtration isn't just about comfort, it's also about health, filtering out harmful particulates and allergens from the air you breathe inside the cabin. Price, value, and outro. Now we arrive at the crucial question. Is the 2026 Porsche Cayenne Electric worth £83,200 or approximately $105,000? To answer this comprehensively, we need to consider what you're getting and compare it to the competitive landscape. Let's start with the direct competitors in roughly the same price range, meaning vehicles within about $5,000 either way of $105,000. The Tesla Model X Long Range starts at around $95,000 before options. It offers slightly less power at 356 horsepower, but a longer range of approximately 335 miles EPA rating. However, the build quality and interior materials don't quite match Porsche standards, and the minimalist interior isn't to everyone's taste. The Model X Plaid, which would be more comparable performance-wise, starts at around $110,000. The BMW iX xDrive 50 starts at approximately $108,000. It offers 315 miles of range and a beautifully appointed interior with BMW's latest technology. The iX M60, which is more performance-oriented, starts around $108,000 as well, but with significantly more power at 519 horsepower. The EQS 450 Plus SUV starts at around $105,000, offering similar range but in a more conventional luxury package. The EQS 584 4G, which is the high-performance variant, costs significantly more at around $130,000. The Audi e-tron GT, though more of a sports sedan than an SUV, starts around $100,000 and offers comparable performance in a different package. So, where does the Cayenne Electric fit in this landscape? It sits right in the middle of the pack in terms of pricing, but offers several advantages. First, the Porsche driving experience. This isn't just marketing speak. Porsche has spent decades refining chassis dynamics, steering feel, and the overall connection between driver and vehicle. Test drive any of these vehicles back to back, and the Cayenne will likely feel the most engaging to drive. Second, the versatility. That adjustable air suspension and genuine off-road capability set it apart from most competitors. The Tesla Model X is primarily on-road focused. The Mercedes EQS SUV is similar. The BMW iX has some capability, but not to this extent. Only the Rivian R1S in this price range offers comparable or better off-road ability. But the Rivian can't match the Porsche's on-road dynamics and luxury refinement. Third, the charging capability. That 390 kilowatt maximum DC charging power is genuinely class-leading. This addresses one of the biggest pain points of electric vehicle ownership, waiting for charging on long trips. Fourth, the badge. Like it or not, the Porsche crest carries significant prestige. It represents a heritage of engineering excellence that dates back to 1948. For many buyers, this intangible factor matters. However, we must also acknowledge the weaknesses.
The range, while respectable at 398 miles combined, isn't the best in class. The Tesla Model X long range offers more. The Mercedes EQS SUV offers similar or slightly better range depending on configuration. If maximizing range is your priority, there are better options. The technology, while comprehensive and well integrated, isn't quite as futuristic as Tesla's approach. If you want the latest autonomous driving capabilities and over-the-air updates that can fundamentally change your vehicle's capabilities, Tesla currently leads in that area. The interior, while beautifully finished and driver-focused, is perhaps more conservative than some competitors. The EQS SUV's hyperscreen is more visually dramatic. The BMW iX's interior feels more avant-garde. If you want an interior that screams future, the Cayenne might feel a bit traditional. Let's talk about running costs, because at this price point, buyers need to think beyond the purchase price. Electric vehicles generally have lower running costs than combustion vehicles. No oil changes, no transmission service, far less brake wear thanks to regenerative braking.